So let's discuss now something I don't think I've ever heard discussed anywhere ever on radio, and I want to talk about dragons. And what I've not heard anywhere else is what I'm specifically going to discuss about dragons. And this has to do with religion and archaeology not conducive to the mainstream view of reality. The ancients were very concerned with dragons, and all the religious books, including the Bible, discuss how the ancient world was populated with dragons everywhere. All right? I'm not talking about snakes like the serpent in the Garden of Eden. I'm talking about dragons. The difference. Dragons have legs, snakes don't. Dragons often have wings and breathe fire, snakes don't. Now, everywhere in the world, dragons, except for very few cases, like such as Middle Age mythology, the dragons were considered peaceful and wonderful, almost like guardian angels or angels. Now, you'll be interested to know that this also includes Christianity, because if I just take a look at the book of Isaiah 6, 1 and 2, we find that there was this king named Uzziah who died and saw a vision of God. Sorry, not a vision of God. He died and therefore saw, this is what it says in the book. You can believe it if you want, or whatever. I'm just going to tell you. So I want to reference something about dragons in here. That's why I'm reading it. So this king died and was taken to God, and what he saw was God sitting there, and next to and behind him were what are called seraphims. Those are dragons with 6 wings. Okay? So you have to conclude that these seraphims were angels. According to the Christian perspective, the workers of God that she had created, are angels. So therefore, if he's surrounded by a bunch of dragons, these dragons are angels. Okay, so now you have to couple that with the idea that in the Chinese culture, the dragon is highly revered, and the Chinese dragon is very popular in pop culture, and people get tattoos of the Chinese dragon and so forth. And it's usually thought that this is something cute and nice. But it's kind of interesting when you note that the seraphim is often very similar to the Chinese dragon with the multiple wings and so forth, and it's almost a guardian angel type of entity. Now, we have in our popular culture, we're told that the dragon is evil, Godzilla, and there's this movie called Dragon Wars and all this kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and you don't have to believe it. You can believe whatever you want. But I'm just going to tell you. So do what you want with the information. And when you're in the highest states of meditation, highest states meaning you've done hard work and you're getting towards a nirvanic state, let me just put it this way. You may have visions of a dragon or dragons. And then when you go take that, I say vision because I don't want to commit to the idea that it's not a vision, it's something real that's standing next to you and was always there, like a guardian angel. I just want to, let's just leave it at that. What will happen then if you go look up, after this episode during your meditation, if you go look up on the computer, look up Chinese dragon, pull up a bunch of images, you will find out that that dragon looks astonishingly like the one in your meditation experience. So, conclusion is that the dragon permeating mythology and culture and for the ancients, look at the Mayans. They were utterly obsessed with serpent dragons and some kind of serpentine dragon-like creatures. We have to therefore, here's the conclusion right here. These ancients were operating on this level of consciousness. Okay, and you may say, well, big deal. They were. People now can do that. No, here's the point. They built sculptures and monuments to this dragon consciousness. Okay, we don't. We build them to banks and money and all this, and military and all this kind of stuff. The ancients were building. I'm not saying the ancients are great and glorifying them, because we know that there are problems. The Mayans sacrificing children and so forth. We know that. I'm not going to make a lot of conclusions and call these groups evil and stuff. But I don't really understand what these groups are doing. That's the way I'm going to leave it. Okay. So the point is here is the ancients and the leaders of the ancient world, or whoever it was that was in charge of building all these monuments, were very likely operating out of dragon consciousness, the consciousness, the nirvanic consciousness I just described.